Hi, you're listening to Not the Girl Next Door show, and this is Angela. I have Max on the line, and the band name is pronounced Tallah. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've been going with Tallah. I mean, I've heard plenty of different ways of pronouncing it, but that's how the members of the band are pronouncing it.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about the band, like the members and how you guys all met.
All right, so it starts, I guess I'll just say me because I'm the one, on the phone right now. So I'm Max Portnoy. I'm the drummer. This is a band I put together kind of this, even before the start of the new year. The start of 2018 is when, the band, became, kind of, official and, announced and everything. So that's, it really kind of came out with 2018, which is kind of cool. But I've been putting it together for a long time before that. And I've known Derek Schneider, who's the lead guitarist, and he was in my old band with me, and I brought him along with this. And then I knew Andrew Cooper, who was the bass player, and I've known him for years. I've just been playing with his other bands and stuff, and he's an insane bass player. He's got the best stage presence out of anyone I've ever seen. So
Awesome.
I had to snag him for this. And then we have Justin Bonnet, who's on vocals, and I've actually kind of been a fan of him for a while. I followed him on YouTube because he's got a YouTube page, and he's got 2 channels on YouTube. He does covers and then his solo stuff. So I've been watching stuff for a while, and I ended up reaching out to him, and he wanted to, he was interested in the band and everything, so it worked out, which is awesome. And he does vocals and everything, so that's awesome. And then we have AJ Wisniewski, or he's got the actual pronunciation, which I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Polish or something.
Okay.
If you ever interview him, he'll get the correct one, but he tells me it's just to pronounce it the way the Americans do it is what's new ski? So I had to follow that.
Okay.
And he plays rhythm guitar, so that's everyone.
So how did you come up with the band's name Tallah? Was this your idea or a collaboration from you guys, or how did you come up with the band name?
So we went through a crap ton of names. Like I was saying, I've been putting this together for a long time. So months ago, we were just going through different things, and they were all either taken already, or we just didn't think they were cool enough, because there's good suggestions from everyone, even people I'm in the band will be yo, do you have any cool band name ideas? Just because it doesn't really need to be from someone in the band. As long as you hear a cool name, then that's great. So we were just kind of trying to figure it out, and we personally couldn't think of anything else, because everything the band was trying to come up with was already taken by other people. We settled on 3 names, and a week later found out that they were already a band, so that it's really difficult. So it got to the point where I filled in for this band Dollskin, and I just put out on the merch stand for them. It's just hey, do you want to help my band find a band name or whatever? And we just kept a couple pieces of paper out, and random people just come up and write stuff. And apparently some little girl just wrote her name, she wrote just Tallah on the piece of paper, and we were just you know what? Screw it. At this point, we're it's cool. It's one word. It's simple. We're we're just going with that. It's cool. And we actually used her handwriting as the logo. So
that's
the font
awesome.
it was just a scanned, what's it called, a scanned picture of the piece of paper with all the names on it. And so that's just her straight up handwriting right there.
That is awesome. That is an awesome story.
Thank you. It's pretty cool. I thought we liked the name in general, and then we're it's got a cool, backstory, so we're down.
Well, I agree. Now, what kind of sound do you guys have? I mean, obviously you're a rock band, but what kind of sound would you say? I don't want you to necessarily have to put yourself in a subgenre or anything like that, but kind of just go over what kind of sound you guys have.
We definitely, a lot of people are saying that we have a nu metal influence, which is, I definitely hear that with the riffs and everything. I would say we lean more towards the Slipknot, Korn side of nu metal, rather than the really rap heavy Limp Bizkit stuff. That's not really what we're sounding like.
Okay.
So it's just more those kind of heavy riffs. I even say we're kind of we're not a hardcore band, but we definitely have the influence from there as well. So kind of in between nu metal and hardcore is where we sit. I feel like. And then we have like our own weird, unique take to all that, which I think is really cool. So it's kind of hard to put us in a place, but like that's how I would describe it to people.
Now, you just mentioned that maybe corn was one of your influences. Who are some of your overall influences that help shape the sound of the band?
For this band, definitely like I just said, Slipknot and Korn are definitely like big influences. I was also really into getting into like Code Orange and stuff, and just like started finding like that kind of hardcore stuff, like Knock to Lose and those kind of bands. So they're like that style has also been a pretty big influence on this project for me as well. So kind of like I said, it just kind of sits between new metal and hardcore is where all the influences are being drawn, and then that's just kind of where we are, plus our unique version of what we're trying to do. So it's definitely drawing the influence from all those kind of bands.
Awesome. Now, you guys recently played NAMM this year. How was that, and how does it feel to play live?
Oh, it's great. I love playing with this band. Those shows are really fun because that was the first time we went like it was like our third and fourth show, and we were already in like the other side of the country because we were all from like Pennsylvania area. Justin's from Massachusetts, so he's a little bit far, but he's still East Coast. And like their third and fourth show, we were like invited to go play NAMM, so we're like, that's pretty awesome. So, we were over there and we met tons of great people, and those shows were amazing. Like they were like pretty packed. So like I was pretty surprised. Like they weren't like huge big shows, but they were club shows, and they had tons of fans, and they were like into us. They never even heard of us, and they were like moshing and jumping around and stuff. So I was thoroughly happy with it, and we made tons of fans. We made tons of friends over there too. And the live shows are just so much fun because it's never the same thing. Like our singer Justin, he just dresses up really like I don't know how to describe it. Like if you watch our highlight video, you'll see like every single show he's doing something different. He wore like a French Maid outfit for one show.
Yes,
and
I saw that.
he did like this sweater vest nerdy get up for like another show. So it's always different. I never know what to expect from him. He just shows up like, I'm wearing this, and I'm like, all right, awesome. So it's a lot of fun.
I'm sure it adds some flavor, and I'm sure the crowd appreciates that a lot. The flavor that it adds to the show. Because I did see a video, and I'm pretty sure that was a French Maid outfit that I saw him in. So yes, definitely.
It's awesome. I think the French Maid outfit's so cool. It's like just really baggy and like really cool. And then he wears it, and it's obviously like a dress or like a skirt type deal, but he makes it look awesome. So I'm like, that's great. So it's always great to see what kind of weird things he's going to do at the next show. Same with everyone else in the band. Everyone else just goes crazy at every single performance we have.
So that brings me to actually one of my questions, and I think you've answered part of it already. When fans go to your shows, what can they expect? I mean, we already talked about it's obviously never the same. So what can they expect, like, at a Tallah show?
It's hard to say because nothing's ever planned. Everything so far, every single show has been completely different from one another. Besides, the songs that we're playing. It's just so much fun. Like everyone gets hurt. At least one person in the band gets hurt every single show. And last show was really bad. Justin sliced up his chest and everything. I got a bunch of bruises and cuts all over me, and it's great. I love it. He tackled me. He tackled into my kit and all this crap, and then everyone like AJ and Cooper were in the mosh pit and stuff. So it's just a lot of fun. It's different every single show. It's so much fun to watch it.
Do you guys have any crazy fan stories that have happened while you were playing a show, or crazy show stories that have happened so far while you guys are playing? Obviously, it sounds like it's pretty brutal. So have you had any fans join in on the action and crazy stuff happen?
From the fans, not yet. I'm waiting for it. I mean, they're always moshing and going as crazy as us, but not that I've seen. All of it's from I get surprised by what my band members are doing. That's why I'm always excited to play a show, because I'm just like, all right, what's Justin gonna do now, or Cooper or whatever. So it's just fun to watch them. Justin licked the floor at the last show. I'm sure if you follow him on Twitter, you'll see that. But he's gonna get a disease at some point. But it's okay. I'm down. I like it. Uh, so it just, yeah, we're waiting till there's definitely gonna be some weird fan stuff that's gonna happen, or I'm waiting for someone to like break a limb in the crowd because, that's always fun as long as it's consensual.
So you mentioned that Justin, is he pretty active on Twitter? Do you guys use social media to help you promote, or what do you think about social media? How big of a role does it play with the band?
So far, social media has been like a big, aspect for us because we're now playing a bunch of shows, I should say, and we just started, so we haven't played a ton yet, and we already have tons of recognition from like fans everywhere mainly because I've been kind of having fans for a little bit who have followed me with my like previous band Next to None, and Justin has a ton of fans from his YouTube stuff, his Hungry Lights page and everything. So like our social media just in general had tons of interest to it, and we've been like putting out we did like a highlights reel where we just took clips from all 4 shows that we did, and now we have more shows with video that we're going to probably do more stuff with, but at the time we only had 4 shows. And everyone was like really into that. We put out like a studio teaser and all this stuff. And we have like an Instagram, Facebook, a Twitter, and YouTube page. And that's like really where like all the commotion is right now. And we're just trying to get out to everywhere because now we have people popping up like telling us to come play in like Texas and California and Wisconsin and all this stuff. And we're just trying to actually get on tours and get more shows out there. But yeah, we're definitely utilizing social media to the best as we can.
Do you guys think that social media hinders you in any way? Because, I mean, when you put yourself out there on social media, I mean, everybody sees it, especially with all the media outlets you guys are using. Do you think it hinders you in any way where fans are, get to that point where they're crazy and always in your lives and, they want to be friends and they don't even know you? And, I mean, have you guys encompassed that part of it yet?
No, I think social media is great no matter what. I mean, as long as you're confident in the stuff you're putting out there, that's all that matters. If you're putting stuff out there that you don't feel is your best or you're not totally confident in, then I think it's a problem because then everyone's going to see that and think that of the band. But we're all really confident in what we're doing, really proud of what we've done. So using, YouTube or Facebook or whatever to get, our stuff out there is what's, helping us out tremendously right now.
Now, you mentioned that you guys are trying to get out there, and all these fans want you to come all over, virtually the United States or the world to come and see you. Who would be the ultimate tour that you would build up? If you could pick anyone, any band, recent now or in the past, anyone you wanted to, who do you think you would want to play with to make the ultimate tour? Because you never know who's listening.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Because there's always like the more reasonable stuff, and then there's the stuff that's not really reasonable, but it would be a perfect tour for us. Like I was mentioning earlier, like Slipknot and Korn are like probably our biggest influences. So obviously playing them would be awesome because we kind of have their what's it called? I don't want to say we have their sound because if you listen to us, it doesn't sound like a Slipknot song, but you hear it and you're like, oh, this totally could go with Slipknot, like on the show or something. So definitely like those kind of bands, and like I was saying, like we were talking about like Warped Tour. One of our fans made a petition to get us on there, so we were just sharing that around. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but that would be great because there's there's a lot of bands on Warped that we don't really go with, but then there's like Knocked Loose and Kublai Khan and like August Burns Red and stuff, where I think we would go really well with those kind of bands, and like that kind of stuff seems more reasonable than or like realistic than a Slipknot or Korn tour right now, if you know what I mean.
Right. No, understandable. But I mean, definitely, you never know what could happen. So, do you guys plan on doing any tours? I know you said you have a petition for your fans to try and get you on a Warped Tour. Is that right?
Yeah. I feel like Warped Tour is booked up right now, but who knows? If Kevin's listening to this, Kevin, I love you. I will kiss you on your feet if you put us on Warped Tour. But yeah, one of our fans, he made a petition, and then because I think Justin mentioned like something about playing the last Warped Tour in a post somewhere, and someone made this like and actually went and made like a petition to get us on, so we're all sharing it. But yeah, anyway, we have a booking agent who's currently he's submitting us for tours and everything. So right now we're seeing what's going to work out, what's not going to work, and just trying to play right now. So right now is kind of when we're figuring things out with like the EP, seeing what tours we're submitting for and seeing what we can do. So it's all going to be put out there soon enough for people to know what's going on, and it'll be on all of our social media pages.
Well, I will have to share that on my page so all the listeners can, take part in that petition and help you guys out there. I'd love to help out and get you on there if that's what you want to do. So, like you said,
that would be great.
The power of social media thing, so we'll do that. We'll get that on and get that shared. Now,
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. What are your plans for 2018? Are you guys recording new music? Are you planning the tours hard? What are your plans to do?
As of right now, like I was just talking about, we're currently our booking agent is sending out stuff to try and submit us for a bunch of tours. So that's kind of what we're focusing on. But that's something that the band, like us, we really can't do. That's more of a booking agent thing. So while that's going on, we're currently focusing on getting our EP finished. It's currently basically all recorded. I'm just finishing up AJ's tracks actually as we speak. He's in the basement. So once we're done with this interview, I'll finish up the last 2 songs that he has to do, and then we're literally getting it mixed already. We got the guy who's going to mix the EP for us. He sent like a little a test run to see if we liked him, and it sounded absolutely insane. And it was like the exact sound we were going for. So we're super excited to start working with him probably in about a week. We'll start getting the mix, and then once we have that, get our EP out, sooner than later. It'll definitely be out in 2018. Hopefully have some tours planned for whenever that comes out. And that's basically what we're going to do for the rest of the year, is just play out as much as we can once the EP is released.
Now, I guess the question of how does the music collaboration go? Does one person write the music? Do you guys all chime in and write the lyrics? Or how does your music writing process go?
When it came to the music, especially for this EP, I kind of took over a little bit and did a lot of the writing myself. And then I worked with Derek Schneider, one of our guitarists, and he helped me out with like a couple of the songs. And I present like the songs with all the riffs that I write and everything, and then everyone's at liberty to kind of do what they want with their parts. Like I don't write. I'll lay down like a simple bass line. Mm-hmm. But then Cooper takes it and he does whatever he wants because he's a way better bass player than me, and he adds all these super cool bass fills and everything. So everyone I've been kind of writing the songs and the riffs and like the arrangement, and then everyone kind of takes their parts and does what they want. And then Justin has full control over his vocals because I trust him 100% with that. I'm not a vocalist at all, so it's better that he does that than me.
So where can listeners find your music? Where do you guys have your music at so they can listen in and check you guys out?
As of right now, we still are waiting for our EP to be released because that's going to be our debut kind of thing.
Okay.
But we do have like teasers and short clips. Like I was saying, we have a highlight reel. That's about like a minute and a half of one of our songs. It's not the mix that we're going to get for the actual EP. It's like a demo quality thing. And then we have like another teaser with another song. So we do have things up where people can hear our sound and a little bit of the songs up on our YouTube page right now, which is just Tallah. And we're always just kind of posting little teasers and videos until when we actually have the release, which will probably be out on like iTunes, Spotify, and all that kind of stuff.
Now, will you guys release it as a complete EP? Because I know a lot of bands lately, they've been saying they're not releasing like complete albums. They're releasing a couple songs here, a couple songs there, because they want to keep people hanging. Are you guys releasing all your songs together, or are you guys just going to release a couple songs here, a couple songs there?
I think our plan is to release one song as a single whenever we're done with that. So that'll be, we'll update our pages with all of that whenever that's going to come out. But then from there, we will release the 5 songs that we have, including the one we're going to release as a single, and those will be released together as an EP, like on a physical disc and out digitally online together. And that'll happen further down the line. But before that will be, just like one single is kind of what we're planning on doing.
What do you think may have changed in music, or why do you think bands are doing that? Like your perspective, why aren't bands like releasing an album, waiting a couple years, releasing another album? What do you think has changed in music, way, or what's your decision to release your music like that?
Mainly the big thing is that everyone's just kind of stealing music, which is what's really sucky. Because like especially if you're on a label, if you're self-releasing it, it doesn't really matter. You can just kind of put out an album if you want to spend more money doing that. But like labels and stuff tend to prefer more like an EP thing if you're like a newer band, just because nobody really buys an album and listens to the whole thing anymore. They're streaming one or two songs on Spotify or something, or just downloading them off like YouTube or something. So people tend to just spend money recording and doing one song, since that's mainly what people get nowadays, and just putting that out rather than spending money on a full album, which people might not even listen to the entire thing. They might just pick 2 or 3 songs off of it to listen to. So that's really kind of why everyone's doing this. I prefer full-length albums. I like having a physical CD in my hand and looking at all the artwork and everything, but
Right.
Not everyone's like that, and that's fine, just as long as you support the band when they play shows and buy merch to make up for it. But that's okay. that's everyone's got their own opinion. Some people don't like having CDs. I don't know. But, yeah, that's kind of the way I see it and what's happening.
Now, do you think that, as a rock music scene, do you think that the industry itself, do you think that people are coming out to shows as much as they may have before, maybe 5-10 years ago? Or do you think the scene is bigger and better now?
It depends. Like I definitely think it's a lot. It's not as good as it used to be, because I remember like my parents will tell me, like, back when they were younger, like my age, like people used to just go to venues and see bands, just like hang out and have fun, but people don't really do that anymore. It depends on like the scene you're in and everything, because there's certain scenes out there that have kind of like built-in crowds that just go and see everyone, but then there's other places and like cities and stuff and different styles of music where like nobody goes out at all. Like if you're like for example, like Next One was very prog, it was like prog metal, and it was really hard to, like, if you're doing a local show, for any prog fans to show up, because it's not like that kind of thing. But then you go to like we were playing like Prog Power, and it was filled with people. So like that's like the local scene where we are is like it's not that much alive. And same with like this, it's like it depends on where you are. Like we did like a hardcore style show in Philly, and that was filled, and there was like tons of people there for that. But then you'll go and do just kind of like a more straight up metal show somewhere else, like I'm trying to think, because we haven't played too many shows that were empty. Like whereas like I was saying, my other band, there's a different genre. It's a little bit more dead. So it really depends on where you are and what kind of style you're going with.
What do you guys do? Do you guys use social media to get fans out to your show, or what's the biggest things that you do to get when you guys have a show? Like, do you post the flyers and then like follow up with fans, or how do you guys approach social media to help you guys promote your shows?
Just posting as much as you can, like without it being annoying and turning into spam. So like if you go to our Instagram page and stuff, like I try to keep it, like I'll put a post out for the show, and like I'll do like 2 more posts, and then I'll post it again, and just kind of keep getting it out there. And then we'll put like for example, like I was talking about, that highlight video was really good, because we put that out to advertise for some of our like future shows after that, and that helped because that gained a lot of traction, because people were just going there to see that video in general, and just because they were interested in like seeing live footage and hearing like the music, and then they see that we have other shows coming up. So like things like that really help. And we actually did do like the old school thing where we just hung up flyers and stuff. So we'll do that whenever we can. Like obviously for like the California shows at NAMM, we couldn't do that because we're all the way over here in Pennsylvania. But when we played our Philly show, we were able to hang up flyers like around the city and stuff.
Now, do you guys have any immediate shows that you want to talk about that are coming up that you want to tell listeners about?
We do have a show coming up March 23rd at in Jersey. So we'll be sharing that info and stuff on our pages, like I was saying. That just kind of got officially posted like a day or two ago. So that's really new. We got to post about that one a lot. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's our first show in Jersey. Which is going to be cool because that's where Derek is from, our guitarist. So it'll be kind of like a hometown show for him.
Awesome. Well, if you guys ever want to, come to my page and share your shows, you can do that as well, because we would love to share your music and help get you guys out there. And definitely, if everyone is listening, sign the petition, get them on the Warped Tour. It's the last Warped Tour, so it'll be pretty epic regardless. So everybody just check that out.
It's going to be the last one. Let's just do it. Maybe we'll just follow the tour around in our RV and just play in the parking lot or something.
Hey, that sounds like a backup plan. You never know.
We'll just kind of be a little bit creepy stalkerish, and we'll just kind of play right outside the show as people are leaving or something.
There you go. Well, Max, thank you for talking to us today. Come back anytime. Anytime you guys want to share your new music and send us over your new music when you get it, we'd love to play it for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You have a good night. Thank you.
You too.